filter in a little bit, and we'll get going. Hey guys, good to have you in the chat. See Johnny with first one in today. We have Ann with us, Velvet Boulet. Sean, glad you're here, buddy. Let's see who else.
There's some guy named Dapper Tiger in the chat.
Man.
I don't know if you saw him, but
yeah,
that's right. He's in there too.
Dan, thanks for being here, man. Art Vandelay, appreciate it. We'll give it, like I say, we're going to give a few minutes just to get some people in, but we are here talking about eBay and not eBay. I usually talk about eBay. These guys are here.
You want to talk eBay? We can talk eBay.
Yeah, they're out.
So we're doing that today. If you do have questions, I'm going to put this banner up and let you know. Please put them in all caps and be mindful that there will be a lot of people in here, so we will get to your questions. Nikki T, glad you're here. Steve-O, glad to have you. Hannah,
what's up?
Here once again, keeping an eye on Jacob. Make sure he don't get out of line. Don't let those men wander in the room. Kelly, Ecom and Beyond. Ecom Ward. The Ecom Ward. Gotcha.
All right.
Thanks for being in. I wanted to say Ecom and Beyond because of what we were talking about. So we'll give it another couple minutes and then we'll get going. Nikki T, I saw that you and Rev already pulled some of them cards you got today. So.
Did they buy more cards?
Yeah. Rev's birthday is today, so they actually found a shopping basket load.
That's a good birthday. That is a good birthday present right there.
Goodness.
I think she pulled 2 Zions too, from what I saw on Instagram. So
for real?
Yeah, not the mega
Zion. In the chat. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. That's me.
I saw the infamous George in the chat.
Hi, infamous George.
Wow. Hello.
Well, hello, infamous George.
Hello.
We watched you guys today's video. Tim, glad to have you in, buddy. Guys, if you don't know Tim, man, the glass man.
Yeah.
He, anything to do with glass, he can tell you.
We know nothing.
We need help in that area.
Nothing.
Definitely.
Thousands of dollars of glass right now from these 2 units that I bought before quarantine. And we know nothing.
Dude, this guy
is your man. Yeah.
Over the years, if you see him in here in the chat, over the years, Tim was actually our first guest on the show. But man, he knows his stuff. Him and his mom's Ma Dukes, big supporter of our channel. And so, but those guys, he's on Instagram too. If you shoot him a picture of what you got, he can tell you. Like he's just like that.
More like shoot him a couple thousand pictures.
Yeah, right.
We got so
it's like
much.
Google Lens, but for glass.
Yeah. Seriously. Whew. He helps us out a lot. I mean, at least whenever I've hit him up.
No doubt. I actually shot a live video that I sent to Tim. I was like, hey, here's what I got. And I'm like walking around the table. He's like, oh, that's that. So he's definitely good on that. He said, hit him up. He'll help for sure.
There you go.
I thought I saw Rev pop in.
Yeah, I saw him too.
Yeah.
Happy 40th, buddy.
You guys gonna sing to him?
I don't know. You gonna lead it? You got your guitar with you?
I mean, never get on a live without it, but
there we go.
If you say the G word, he will pull the guitar.
This is all you guys. Man.
We don't want to spoil your show.
Yeah, go ahead and pull the guitar. We'll sing a little happy birthday. We're not.
Dude, people will stop watching. Trust me.
Aaron in the chat. Good to see you. Frank. Well, guys, we do have quite a few people in. We're going to go ahead and get started. Obviously, if you're here, you know that we do host Reseller Roundtable every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. And tonight we do have a special guest in, and we're going to be talking about mostly YouTube, to be honest. It's kind of the question in the room that everybody always has, but no one really comes right out and says. Like everybody that's in here has a YouTube account. All the people that I'm seeing in the chat have YouTube videos that they're putting out. These guys were actually in our show well, on Nate and Anthony's, I believe, as well. But I saw it. Gosh, where did I see you guys at? In our show, maybe.
Yeah, I was probably in your show.
Yeah, talking about that you guys were talking about doing YouTube, like basically just kind of talking with people how to do it in the reseller community. And once I saw that, it was like it clicked in my brain. I was saying, man, this is something that is a topic that people want to hear about, people want to talk about, people have questions about. So we were fortunate enough to reach out to the Hales and have Jeremy and George come on tonight to talk about YouTube. Guys, if you have questions, we want you to drop them in the chat. Make sure you're putting them in all caps, and we will get to them. We have all three of us in here kind of looking at those things, keeping an eye on the chat. So after we finish a question, we'll go to the next question, and we all have questions as well. So we will get to you, and we'll hang out here as long as you guys have questions, really.
Yeah, I think that's huge for people in the chat. If they have a specific question towards YouTube, put it in the chat, put it in now before other people put their questions in. Sometimes they don't even know what to ask. And so the general question is, how do I grow a channel? Well, don't ask that question, okay? It's always going to be the same answer. So don't ask that question. Get a specific question, and we'll do our best to answer it.
That's right. So, like I said, we do thank you guys for coming in. Obviously, as always, we're joined by Jacob, Midwest Bargains, Sam, the Dapper Tiger, and I think little Sam's probably in the background somewhere. But yeah, last week, man, a week old now is the little guy there, the young tiger cub.
Right,
so,
you see him right there. He's on the shelf. That's little Sam up there.
Yeah.
So, we thank you guys for coming in. Sonny, good to have you. Josh, good to have you in as well. Victoria, glad you made it in time. Victoria sent me a thing last night saying, I missed it. I can't believe I missed it. I was like, no, it's tonight. You're good. So, guys, if you have questions, I'm going to let Sam and these guys start out. But obviously, Jeremy, George, we thank you guys for being here. And if you just kind of want to give a little bit of who you are, I think most people know you guys, but just a little introduction would be awesome.
I'm Jeremy.
I'm the pale one in the relationship.
I'm the dark one in the relationship.
There you go. That's like me and my wife. Like I'm the pale one, the one that glows in the dark.
Jeremy's been a reseller for
ever.
And he introduced me to reselling. I listed my first eBay item November of 2018. So I'm still kind of a noob.
And she's addicted. It's crazy.
Yeah, I love it all. I love sourcing. She loves listing.
Sorting.
I love sorting. I love
That's
selling.
Her thing.
You know the noise that the eBay icon makes.
Cha-ching.
That's like one of my favorite sounds.
She's like Pavlov's dog.
That's your ringtone. Cha-ching.
Yeah.
Every time we make a sale on eBay, that cha-ching tone.
Hey, George, in your honor, I actually brought something on the show tonight so that you would feel more comfortable. Maybe we'll have a great show.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
That's awesome. So along with meeting Jeremy, also the YouTube life was introduced as well. And at first I was like, no, I don't like the way I sound on camera. I'm camera shy. And so he insisted on recording our dates. So he would vlog our dates when we first met. And then I would have to watch all of them and approve them before he released them, because I didn't know anything about his editing skills or.
I don't have any editing skills.
Said.
I still don't have editing skills, but people watch.
That's it.
And then I started making cameo appearances in his videos when he was doing unboxings and going to storage unit auctions. And July of last year is when I quit my career and became a full-time YouTuber / reseller.
Wow.
Amazing.
There you go. I know we have some questions already coming in. Sam, did you guys catch some of those early?
Yeah, I got them. So
Sam's like, yeah.
Aaron,
Me and
Yeah,
Liz.
says that I dream I'm hearing the cha-ching.
boom. Well, so kind of off of what you were saying, George, for those of us who are starting out, right? I think the common thing I hear is I'm comfortable on a live stream, but not as comfortable when I'm filming and producing in front of the camera. Like
to make content. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Jeremy, I know you've kind of like presented and taught, so you have that stage presence. You learn that. So I guess between the two of you guys, what would you say are some just quick tips for people who are getting more comfortable in front of the camera?
So it is much easier to be able to have a conversation with someone on the live panel, but to make content, if it's just you, it's so hard to be comfortable because you're essentially talking to yourself. And I think that's a challenge. I don't think that I could ever make a video by myself. I'm still struggling in that area, but Jeremy was a public speaker, so it's natural. It's second nature for him. So my advice as a newbie in front of creating content is just keep putting it out there. And then another thing that I would do is I would go back and rewatch the videos to kind of critique myself.
Right.
What to say next time, what not to say.
Let me add a couple things, very, very simple things to that. And then I want to throw a disclaimer out for us as well. So to what George says, what she said, just do it, basically. So number one is just do it. All right. These are so simple. If you're going to record yourself, do not hold your phone like this. Hold your phone like this. Or your camera
YouTube
like this.
purposes, for content purposes, you want to hold it that
You
way.
do not, your eyes, God didn't make your eyes up and down like this. God made your eyes this way. So number one, you hold your phone or your camera like this. Number two, do not look at yourself on the camera. Look at the camera. Forget you being on there. Look at the camera. So I'm here when I'm filming. I look here at the actual camera. It's so simple in that aspect, but yet those are two huge things that so many people disregard. And the aspect of live streaming, feeling comfortable on a live stream is good, and live streaming is good, but you have to ask yourself, what is the goal of your actual YouTube channel? Because YouTube is a business. Whether you're making money or not, everything you do is business oriented because you're selling yourself, whether people are paying with actual tangible money or people are paying with their time, which is the greatest investment that they have. You're selling yourself to allow them to come into their life and their home. And so you have to remember it is a business and it's an equity of time and it can be an equity of money in an exchange there. So live streams are great to build up brand loyalty and friendships and things along those lines. But as far as promotion of a YouTube channel in YouTube system, your live stream isn't going to be promoted out there. Very, very few people are going to watch it. Your super fans are who's going to attach themselves to your live stream. Your pre-recorded content is what can trigger what's called an algorithm in YouTube system, and a lot of people may not even know what that is, but a lot of this is going to be oriented towards actual YouTube content creators. The pre-recorded content is what has the ability to actually trigger an algorithm. A live stream can do it as well, but a live stream doesn't get viewed. People just go, oh, it's a live stream, and they pass it off. So with those little tips, let me put a disclaimer in there if you guys don't mind. Number one, we do not know everything, and we are wrong at times.
We're learning something new every day when it comes to YouTube.
But we know quite a bit, and we've learned that by failure, and we've learned that by success, and we've learned that by learning from others that are professionals in the field, and we want to be professionals in the field. But that being said, everything that we said isn't going to resonate with everybody. So just like anytime you're learning anything, you want to sift it. You want to gold mine. We're treasure hunters. You want to sift it out, let the dirt fall to the ground, and get the nuggets, okay? If a nugget for you was, man, I got to stop holding my phone like this, and I have to hold my phone like this, boom, apply it. That's your nugget, okay?
Right.
Other thing as far as a disclaimer, there are going to be people that are going to play victim on YouTube. YouTube is a great place for a lot of narcissistic people to play victim, to play woe is me, to play all of that. If your victim mentality, I would just say stop watching right now. None of what we say is going to help you. Just move on. If you are a learning mentality, you're going to want to stay on, because some of the things that we share with you tonight can help you grow exponentially. But if you're always going to play the victim, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not, I'm not charismatic enough, they don't like me, whatever it is, whatever. We've heard everything. Right. We steal people's subscribers. When subscribing it's free, is free. I'm not eye candy, therefore I can't make it. Anybody can make it. There are such ugly people on YouTube making millions.
Let's not use that word. Okay. Let's just say less attractive.
All right. Well, there's less attractive people on YouTube. So that's my disclaimer.
That get a ton of subscribers and a ton of views.
Millions.
It has nothing
millions
to do.
And millions.
Your appearance has nothing to do with
nothing
it.
to do with
people
you.
Want to see someone that's going to teach them and that's going to entertain at the same time.
Exactly.
So we call ourselves edutainers. It's educating and entertaining combined in one. So the ones that complain, well, I don't have the looks or I don't have whatever, it's your personality. At the end of the day, it's the personality and what you can offer your viewers.
I love that.
What about your channel can you offer to that viewer? Like, well, there's a ton of channels, like fitness, for example. There's a ton of channels that offer fitness videos, but what does your channel offer that's different than the rest that's going to keep me hooked and keep coming back and want to subscribe and hit that bell icon so that I know every time a video is released?
Yeah, it's definitely. So Johnny Cajun Roots Reseller asked about, is it a benefit to do Premiere as it helps or hurts our channel?
So for Premieres, YouTube's constantly changing the algorithm. With Premieres, at one point it did hurt the channel, but now it helps the channel. So
let's back up 1 second, because we're saying algorithm and probably most people have no clue what that is.
We might be speaking Greek.
So hold a second.
Yeah.
Then go into your Premiere. YouTube is a business. It's $1 billion business. Last time I looked, it was a $4.6 billion business. All right. YouTube's business is all about keeping people on YouTube,
on the
platform.
Mm-hmm.
The more you keep viewers on your channel, the more YouTube is going to promote you, the more money YouTube makes. Okay. So what they have is they have mathematical algorithms that look at each viewer's habits. And then if you can trigger the algorithm, YouTube takes your video and pushes it in front of as many people as possible that want to see that type of content. Let's say
for
it's a storage
example,
unit.
Suggested videos.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Right? So you trigger algorithms. There's thumbnail algorithm. There's all kinds of algorithms. Now go into Premieres, because most people may not even understand that part of business.
Your Premieres are pre-recorded content that you release and go live so that you can interact with your viewers at the same time. So we know channels that do Premieres or used to do Premieres, and those videos never took off. But then recently we do know another channel that has done Premieres, and those videos have hit the algorithm and have gone, YouTube promoted it, because the whole point is there's so many different factors that fall into play to hit an algorithm. And right now there's 2 different types of algorithms. So the longer your viewers watch, what is it? What's the
just let me hit this. Use? And by the way, she and I don't agree on everything. So at times we're going to disagree as well. So here's what the weight of hitting the algorithm is. It is your click-through rate, which means how many people are actually clicking on the thumbnail.
When it's suggested.
So
yeah.
No, it's how many people click on the thumbnail. Once people click on the thumbnail, then it will get suggested, and then your click rate can grow. So your initial people have to click that thumbnail, which is your click-through rate, and then once that grows, then YouTube throws it out and suggested. So you're going to get notifications first. Your subscribers are going to go, oh, I will click on this. If they get a high click-through rate, okay, so basically it's a picture. A picture doesn't mean 1,000 words here. A picture is $1,000. So you've got to get everybody to click on that thing. If your subscribers click on it and more people click on it, then YouTube pushes it and suggests it. Okay. Then from that point, so that's number 1. You have to have that. You have to have a high click-through rate to trigger the algorithm. Number 2, you have to have a high view duration. So let's say they click on your video, you got a 30-minute video and they watch 30 seconds. What does that do? What does that tell YouTube's algorithm? The algorithm goes, they are not satisfied. They're not going to watch this.
Right.
You lost their interest. They're on to another video. Therefore, they're not helping grow the YouTube business. What if you got a 30-minute video and they stick around, they watch 20 minutes of it? YouTube goes, oh my goodness, this is a 70% average view duration. By the way, if you hit 70%, you're automatically, boom, you're in the algorithm. So you have to, every video you make needs to focus on click-through rate. And that means you have to have superior thumbnails. And if you're just standing in your thumbnail like this with something, or listen, people don't click on that. You have to sell it. So you've got to get your thumbnail with your click-through rate has to be perfect. And we've made a whole lot of horrible thumbnails, especially me. And then you have to be able to tie them in to whatever your storyline is, whether they come for three things: inspiration, education, or entertainment. Okay. That's what people come to YouTube for. Three things: inspiration, education, or entertainment. If it's educational, typically, if I'm jumping on to see how do I tie a knot, okay, let's say, how do I tie my shoes? Well, if I'm going for education, once I see that 30 seconds in a 15-minute video, guess what? I'm gone. So these how-to videos don't do very well, especially in the reselling community. If you do a how-to, it's probably not getting pushed. You have to be able to tell a captivating story through the process to increase that average view duration, which then when we get to premieres, then you were saying what about it? So in essence, and we'll do this all night. In essence, premieres do one thing for you, okay? They build a loyal viewing fan base, period.
Well, you can definitely connect during that and build a rapport with your viewers. Doing
a premiere is not going to push your video into the algorithm. That has nothing to do with an algorithm. That has nothing to do with being promoted and suggested with YouTube. Doing a premiere, what's going to happen is you're going to build a loyal fan base that's going to be there consistently every time you release, because you're going to condition them like Pavlov's dog. Every time she hears the cha-ching on eBay, they're going to go, oh, it's releasing. I'm going to get to go chat with all my YouTube friends and family. And boom, they're there. So that's that's the beauty of the premiere. We don't personally do them. That's not to say that we never will. We just never have. But the premiere builds a loyal fan base. The YouTube algorithm, click-through rate, average view duration have nothing to do with premiere.
Gotcha. For me, I as being a smaller channel, I got on the bandwagon doing premieres all the time, and building a loyal fan base. But then, like I was talking with Sam a couple weeks ago, because we're always hashing YouTube. We're always talking about it. And I was saying, man, really though, you got your ride or die, like you say, right? You got people that, okay, we're with you. And so you're seeing like true watch hours from those guys. But if you're new and you're still trying to figure this thing out, sometimes it may give you a false pretense as to, hey, man, my stuff must be good. And really, when you get outside of that premiere and you begin to watch your watch time go down, and your, people that are watching it, like for me, I kind of took a step back and just released a couple quick ones just to say, hey, am I still going to get the same number of watch time like from my ride or die people? Or, do I need to keep tweaking this thing? Because that's really the thing, especially when you're new trying to figure it out, is so what do I need to tweak? Because if we're not careful, we get inside our own head, right? And we say, well, man, these guys, I'm getting tons of watch time from these guys. Well, they're your buddies, man. They're your friends. They're going to be there hanging out. If you put out you filming a dust ball in the corner, like they're going to be there hanging out. But, you don't really see a true essence of what's going on with your channel. And they may hang in there for 15, 20 minutes. Whereas if you just release that video, people would be like, nah, we ain't watching that. That's too much. It's too much. I guess that's the danger of both of it. But,
well, so like the thing that I noticed too, right, is that, folks will hang in there and they'll come because like they're courteous. And then because you're mistaking it, looking at your analytics that like, oh, people want to watch, let's make it longer. Especially the folks who are, I've noticed, who are getting close to getting monetized. That, you know, like the time on it is just like they keep adding on. And I think as a consumer, it's tough, you know. And I guess my attitude for hanging in a 2-hour live is totally different than hanging in for a 30-minute premiere.
That is a very dangerous trap to fall into, and we fell into it as far as making it longer.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I touch base on that just for a
Absolutely, go.
It's going to be a long answer.
No, please. That's what we're here for.
So when I first told her, I said, I want to see what happens with YouTube. And I said, do you want to be a part of it? She's like, no, but I'll support you. And the first month I set a goal. I set a financial goal and I obliterated it. As a matter of fact, I times 1,200 what my goal was, times 1,200 what the goal was, times 12. All right. So anyways, so I just went, holy cow, there's something here. And then people begged for more and more and more. And so from a video this long, I went to a video this long.
Twice as long.
What do you think that did to the channel? Exploded it, okay? Exploded it the bad way because I killed average view duration. So I see Nikki T says, do you think longer or shorter videos do better for viewing duration? YouTube, by the way, a lot of things we're going to share with you, YouTube tells you. And so here's the thing that kind of drives me nuts with the reseller community. They put all of this energy into learning eBay or Poshmark or Mercari or whatever, but they give no attention to YouTube whatsoever. YouTube tells you most of this stuff, okay? And so, by the way, if I step on anybody's feet, George won't, but if I step on anybody's feet and I hurt your feelings, that probably means you're guilty of the thing I'm talking about, all right? So that's your conscience telling you, oh, guilty. So YouTube tells you a longer video will do better than a shorter video. So let's think this through a little bit. If I make a 3-minute video and the entire 3-minute video gets watched, or I make a 30-minute video and 25 minutes of the 30 minutes gets watched, what's better for YouTube's business model? Think it through with me. What is it?
I would think the 25 minutes because they hung in there for 25 minutes.
Exactly. Remember, YouTube is a business. YouTube is a $4 billion business and growing. Their whole goal is to keep the viewer on the platform for as long as possible. YouTube tells you that a longer video will outperform a shorter video, even if that shorter video is a 3-minute video with 100% average view duration. If you've got a 30-minute video with 25 minutes average view duration, you're going to outperform the 3-minute video. Now, what we found, and this is because we fell into the trap, we were like, they want more. Give them more.
Give them more.
Don't. Here's the key to being a bore. Tell everybody everything. And that's what we're doing tonight. So this is going to be an extremely boring live stream because we're sharing all of this with you that we would never, ever, ever share on our own channel. So you want to keep people salivating. And so we adjusted our channel. We adjusted our videos. We used to have what people call it. We call them intros, and then we call the content, and then we call it the outros in our videos. At the outro, hey, don't forget to, and do this and do that. And we even had taglines. Remember what it was?
Adventure Waits, which is why we have.
You got to go find it. Guess what's no longer in our videos? No outro, no nothing. People would start commenting, I watched your video, and at the end, it feels like I hit a wall, and I don't know what happened. Guess why? It's a business decision. We had to adjust from giving them too much, pull back, and keep them salivating. So for the average view duration for us with a storage unit mystery unboxing, we found out 25 minutes is like, bam, that is hot for us.
Yeah.
And if we go too far above that, it doesn't perform well. If we go too far below that, it doesn't perform well. But if we stick at that 25 minutes for the type of content we do, then it's gold. And it literally will take off and make gold. But we've also found with coin pusher videos that the average view duration, and we're doing a test right now. We test every single video. We ran a longer coin pusher video today, 46 minutes. You know why we did it? Because we're testing it with the average view duration to see how it will perform. By the way, it just jumped to 2 of 10. So we wanted to see what it would do and it's at 12.9 thousand views, 2 of 10. It was at 3 of 10 first, but we're looking at average view duration. And if you look there at average view duration, this is the video we released today. Come on, baby.
If you have a YouTube channel, that's one of the most important apps to download is the YouTube Studio.
All right, so average view duration is 28 minutes and 5 seconds. We are actually going to take that information and we're going to assess it versus all of our other coin pusher videos, because right now coin pusher videos for us, 35 minutes is like the sweet spot triggering the algorithm. So we're testing it to see if longer. See, nobody knows this. We would never say any of this stuff in our videos. We would never, ever say that. A viewer doesn't want to know that. The viewer's there to be entertained, period. Right. So every video we put out, and we also are putting out 3 coin pusher videos, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. By the way, everybody's getting a coin pusher video. We're doing 3 in a row as a test run on purpose this week as well. All of it is business testing to figure out where are the sweet spots, how do we grow, how does the channel grow. There are no I'm a victim. There are other channels that are doing it better. I'm not eye candy. There is straight up data that YouTube gives you. There is straight up testing, and we are selling constantly. Every single day, we are selling ourselves on YouTube. All right. So all of those caveats, okay? All of those caveats to say a longer video is going to perform, but don't take our word at 25 minutes. Because your video may not perform very well at 25 minutes. Yeah. You've got to figure out the viewer. You have to get yourself out of the mindset of, well, I'm a full-time YouTuber. I'm going to put out whatever I want to put out. If that's your goal and all you want to do on YouTube is just put stuff out, that's great. If you actually want YouTube to be a business, that's a horrible goal. If you want YouTube to be a business, you should be all about growth. You should be finding ways to grow. You should be learning the algorithm, the system. You should find out what triggers it. Figure out how it grows. Hopefully you're here tonight because that's one of the things you want. And YouTube can be extremely, extremely lucrative. What was it, 2019, Ryan's toy review? He made $22 million, a 6-year-old? Yeah,
a little.
6-year-old.
Are you guys familiar with Ryan's toy review? He was the top earning.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's unemployed now, okay? So
he never has to go to college.
Yeah, his parents figured
or
it out.
Or even got to school, huh?
Okay, so longer videos are going to perform better than shorter videos, but you need to know your content. Now, we're talking to resellers, and I know I'm going to step on toes here, okay? If your content is, look what I bought today, first of all, who's going to click on that? I'm not. I'm just being honest with you, and I follow all the resellers. Look what I bought today. Right. How are you going to get a click-through rate on that? People click on drama. Okay, so I do an unboxing. The sheriff shows up. What nobody knows with the sheriff video, which was last week, right? Nobody knows. The sheriff actually came to my house. I then asked him, and I didn't answer the door. I asked him to meet me at the warehouse. Why would I ask him to meet me at the warehouse? Because I'm in a legal dispute with the warehouse. It's better content. Yeah. It's the story. I want the story to build even better. And so I'm like, hey, meet me at the warehouse. I'm going to be working at the warehouse. Meet me at the warehouse. Serve me there. And what did he say? All right, great. And he met me at the warehouse. And so that's just building a story. That's one example. How can you build the story? And then you put a sheriff or you put a cop on any thumbnail. Guess what?
People are bound to want
They're going to click. Mm-hmm. So if you can find the story, if you go, look what I found today, nobody's going to click on that. But if you find the story behind what you found, this used to belong to a World War II veteran who died or whatever. There's a story behind everything, and you have to become a storyteller to pull that out in your reselling, because they're not going to click on your, be on the lookout. Are some? Sure. Are you going to be able to grow a channel? Not really. Not with a bolo, not with, look what I sold today, not what, none of that stuff is going to grow in the algorithm. You have to mine out the story. You have to then tell the story in picture form. So it's got to be, you see it all the time. You see our faces going, oh, you see it. You have to have drama. People are going to click on drama. You'll see thumbnails with us. I'm crying, she's crying, or you name it. You name it. There's an emotion in the actual thumbnail. And if we can get mad people, even better. If we can get somebody upset, even if it's a good story and we gave something back to everybody, but if we can even get an auctioneer going off in his chant and he looks like, we get the anger in the face. Because what are people going to do?
Some type of emotion in your thumbnail.
You have to have emotion because people aren't going to click on, look what I sold today. Look at this Bolo. Look what I bought. Look what I found. Look what I got at Goodwill. And that's why those things have a tendency to not grow. And that's
as quickly. It grows, but just not as rapidly.
That's why you don't see them on What the Hales. So we flirted with those things and we went, okay, that's not what we're good telling stories about. Mm-hmm. So there's a and a lot of people say, well, why don't you do this? And why don't you show eBay? And why don't you do, because people don't watch it. And so YouTube is a business and we are storytellers as we educate and we entertain and we inspire. And by the way, we're a very, very small fish in a huge pond. Our channel is
teeny
small,
tiny channel. Yeah.
Small. Okay. Now, and that's the other thing. People look at channels and they gauge your size based on sub counts. There are a lot of resellers out there in YouTube community. They got a large sub count. But nobody watches their videos.
Yeah, very little.
Nobody watches their videos. Okay. So you can pay for subs. People can just join and sub. The way that your business grows is people watch your videos. That's how YouTube pushes. So if you see a reseller channel out there and you're like, oh my goodness, they got so many subs. Number one, they're just like you. Okay. We are just like anybody else. Yeah. All right. Number two, see if anybody's watching their most current videos. Chances are they had one video they got lucky on, the algorithm pushed it, and people subbed, but they never watched anything else because the content was horrible and they never took the time to unsub. That's what happens. And so if you see those types of channels, don't be intimidated by channel count. When you want to see growth is a channel that's getting views. Views are what it's all about.
You get monetized based on views, not subscriber count.
Yeah.
Subscriber means nothing as far as monetization. And I think a lot of people confuse that with monetization.
Subs the easy thing to get.
Yeah, and I think that's it, right? Yeah, because it's the easier needle to move, right? So, and it's the quicker dopamine fix for folks. But it's like I've just started out, and I'm seeing like I need to prioritize views over subscribers, and convert and figure out how to convert views into subs and not subs into views.
Sure.
Because I think that's more detrimental to have a whole bunch of people sub to you
and very little views. Yeah.
Here, let's make it a little bit more realistic for people to hold on to. Okay, there are channels that have 1 million plus subscribers that didn't make $30,000 last year on YouTube. Okay, then there are channels such as us. Just throw out a guess. All three of you throw out a guess. What did we make on YouTube? We're not going to tell you, but what did we make on YouTube last year? Take a guess.
Last year,
2019.
2019.
I would say like at least six figures. At least six figures.
Give me a number.
I guess.
I'm gonna lowball 100K.
Yeah.
All right. So 100. What about the other two?
That was my guess. Was 100.
All right. We got 300. Or we got 200s.
I would say 150. 150.
Would it shock you if I told you all three of you are wrong? And if I told you it's much higher than that?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I knew it was.
All right. So we're not going to tell you what it is, but YouTube is a business. And I think it's appropriate. I want to, as we share that, I think it's extremely appropriate that viewers understand, even though viewers, hopefully a lot of these people are just YouTubers that want to grow. And I know there's going to be viewers in there. Viewers, your channels and your content creators deserve to be compensated for their work. You have no compensation or no, you don't even understand how much work goes into this, how much sleep we don't get.
It's pretty much eat, sleep, YouTube.
I interrupt my entire day of normal work to then work over 8 hours a day on YouTube to entertain, to educate, and inspire, and no sleep, edit nonstop. It never ends, and it is very taxing and very tolling. We deserve to be compensated for our work. I don't know anybody in the chat right now that would go, yep, I'll go work 10 to 12 hours a day for somebody for free every single day and show them every part of my life and teach them all of these things. And then you get people complaining about ads. Listen, we're not charging you for free entertainment, nor is anybody else. What you're doing is you're doing an exchange of time, and the ads are what helps YouTube make money, which provides that free entertainment to you and compensates your entertainers or your educators or the people who inspire you. So that being said, they absolutely viewers should know, yes, it's okay for YouTubers to make money. I don't encourage any YouTubers talking about it. Never on your channel. I think that cheapens the experience for your viewers. I mean, that's like watching a movie and then the actor looks at the camera and goes, what that does is it takes you completely out of the storyline and you're like, what was that? And so I don't encourage ever talking about monetization, talking about, you know, as far as how much money you need or you're making or things along those lines. I really don't encourage that. I think that cheapens the experience for the viewer. And ultimately your goal is to keep the viewer engaged for as long as possible. And I just went down more rabbit trails.
Very good. I was going to say too, you know, Joey made a comment. I guess I want to add on to the length of the video and triggering, because I think too, if you're a shorter length video, like how to tie a tie, I think there's video of that where you keep coming back, you know, and a little content like that. It might not be, you know, it might not be as great as like a 25-minute, but if you watched 8 minutes of my 10-minute video and you only watched 10 minutes of a 20-minute video, I think my 80%, you know, retention rate is better than your 50.
But here's what YouTube tells you. The longer video is going to perform better. If they look at, let's say your shorter video has a 50% average view duration and the 20-minute video has a 50% average view duration, they'll always push towards the longer video.
Even if that video brings 20 more views, let's say 20.
YouTube is what tells it to you. So if you go into YouTube, and by the way, if you guys aren't a part of YouTube Creator Academy, then you have to be involved with YouTube Creator Academy, and Creator Insider is another one. This is all YouTube content. They tell you everything. And here's the crazy thing.
Well, YouTube has their own channels. They have 2 channels.
I actually started that today myself.
Yeah,
watch everything.
Insider Creators, more advanced level. They'll speak in terminologies you have no idea what they're talking about if you're not at the advanced level. And then for beginners, YouTube Creators is a perfect channel to follow to help you grow your channel. That's what we started off with, is watching YouTube Creators.
Yeah, those links are right in your YouTube studio. Like if you're looking there right in the center part of the section. And it's actually a little course. They quiz you the whole bit. Like I've been checking into that myself. So Art has a question that's kind of, I think, somewhat tied to what you guys were talking about with thumbnails. And Joey kind of asked the same thing, like what makes your thumbnail pop, which you've kind of have explained to this point. But he's Art, which is actually Dan is his name, Art Vandelay, if you watch Seinfeld. But how do I let people know I make content in hopes of getting views without spamming other channels?
Number one, never put a link of your video on other people's channels, because YouTube automatically holds that into a spam folder. So if you do that on our channel, it'll
get held for review.
If you don't yet have YouTube Studio, YouTube puts a studio app out for YouTubers, which it looks like
it's the bottom right.
Looks like the widget there, YT Studio. So you can run everything in YT Studio. Anytime you put a link on somebody's channel, it gets held in spam or held for review. And on our channel, they all get deleted. Now, that's a business decision. Why? I'm asking you guys, because I already gave you the answer. Why would we delete links that people would put on our videos?
Because you want to keep them on your video.
Takes away
Because
from
that's how
your
YouTube works and promotes you. The longer they're on your video, the more you grow. It's business. It's so simple. YouTube is the most simple, hard thing you'll ever do. And those who come up with excuses and play victim, they're never going to grow. And you just got to throw them to the side and go, listen, that's who they're always going to be. And then there's those who actually have a desire to grow. And then you keep feeding into that fire and it becomes a really strong flame. So that's something to think about there. So in regards to actually promoting, in regards to actually promoting, what he needs to do is he needs to make great thumbnails, and he has to tell a great story that keeps the average view duration up, and then YouTube will promote it. That's how you get recognized.
To add on to that, Art, to answer your question, you definitely want to share your own link on social media. So your own Facebook, create a Facebook fan page, your personal Facebook, you want to share it on Twitter. You also want to share it on Instagram. So that's, and then Instagram's hashtag heavy. So you can try and pull in more people that way by tweaking your hashtags so that people could see it on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and your own personal Facebook account.
So Joey kind of has two questions: the what do you want to see pop in the thumbnail, and what do you want to see in the first 30 seconds to attract views?
Why don't you answer thumbnail, and I'm going to answer 30 seconds. You go with thumbnail first.
I do all the thumbnails for our channel. And my thumbnail skills in the beginning was so weak because I've never done a thumbnail before. But as I do it every day, the better I get. But for our thumbnails, what we want to pop is we want some type of emotion in the thumbnail. We want some type of we want bright colors. We want fonts that pop and that don't blend in with the background of the thumbnail. So you want different color. If you're going to do a caption in your thumbnail, you definitely want that color to pop and not blend in with the actual picture. And then again, like the two biggest things you'll see in our thumbnails is the color of the different fonts. Like I'll show him like 4 different colors. Which one do you like best? Because he's colorblind. So if a different font pops out for him, then I know it's going to pop out for the other viewers. And then we always try and do some type of emotion in the thumbnail. You definitely want to keep your captions short. You don't want lengthy captions. That's what your title is for.
All right, so let's jump into first 30 seconds. But before I do, Dapper Tiger says, I use vidIQ and TubeBuddy, and we know that Grimes uses vidIQ. You may shock everybody. We don't use anything. We don't pay for a service. We don't use anything.
We use the free services.
YouTube gives you everything. All the information you need is on YouTube. So we don't pay for anything. When we look at titles, when we look at thumbnails, it's all in YouTube. So YouTube is what I really want to look at. And I do all of that looking. I do all of that research. She does thumbnails and she does live streams. And so that's what we're looking at YouTube, because YouTube's information is right there. So that being said, people are probably shocked we don't pay for any service. We use YouTube because YouTube is the information that's going to tell you what you need. All right. First 30 seconds. Number 1, you've got to tell the people why they should stay. There you go. All right. Now, let me take that a step further. All right. Nice. Yeah, exactly. Grimes, you know it. I've told you, Grimes, the camera should be rolling at all times. All times.
Never stop recording.
With coin pushing, now, Justin is joking, but with coin pushing, that was a very, very deliberate and a very, very business-oriented decision to go that direction with videos. And we're not going to get into all of that tonight. As a matter of fact, we have determined, we have helped so many people with storage units. We have destroyed our storage unit video business on YouTube because everybody is doing it. And we've helped all these people doing it.
We've encouraged so many people, which is great.
And so we are, our new groupings, and we are headed in more directions as far as treasure hunting. Those are ours, and we're not opening those up to anybody else. Not even Grimes, not anybody. But
we still love you though, Grimes.
We've saturated the market, and that's never a good thing. You don't want a monopoly. Well, at any rate. So in the first 30 seconds, you need to give them a reason why. Why should they stay and view? So
you want to hook them.
Let's say you guys are going to YouTube. You're like, hey, let's go see what we can find in YouTube today. You're just going on, or not in YouTube. Let's say you're going to Goodwill because you're a reseller and you're going, let's see what we can find at Goodwill today. Why would I want to stick around to see what you found in Goodwill? Maybe I will, but here's a really good way in the first 30 seconds to actually keep somebody in. You guys just got to think it through and get more creative. If you go in with somebody else and go, let's say OBX picker and then Dapper Dan go in, and then all of a sudden, or Midwest picker, you guys go in and you're going to have a competition. You're going to see who can find the most profit and goodwill today. And you start that 30 seconds and you go, we're going to have competition and we're going to see who can find the most money today. You know what you just did to your viewer? You gave them a reason to stay because they really don't care what you found. They want to know who won. We are competitive by nature. So you need to take your content and you need to tweak it to ensure that people actually stick around and watch it. So if you're just going to be normal and go, well, let's see what I found today, they're not going to stick around. And I know I'm hurting people and I know I'm stepping on toes. If you can't take the constructive criticism, go play victim somewhere else. If you want to learn, stick around. You just got to tweak it and figure out how will people stick around to view it, okay? Sure. You also want your pinnacle experience, or there's a lot of times in our videos, we found something. We always say the storage units tell their own story. We film it, and then we go back and we go, what's the story?
Yeah, we're blessed with the niche that we record because the story writes itself.
So that being said, we a lot of times we may find the pinnacle of the story right away, but in the editing process, you don't see it to the end. So now everything has to build up, and sometimes viewers call us out on that. They're like, well, that wasn't like that in the beginning, and then you said this, but you didn't even find it yet. And the reality is it's editing. We edited the story to grow. Every story has, you got to start the story, right? You got to front load it. Then you have to have conflict, and then you have to have conflict resolution. We front load the story. We're going to have a competition. What's up? Can you find 500 or can I find 500? Who's going to win today? Because other than that, it's really boring opening boxes. So then there's a conflict. The conflict is, all right, who's going to win? Competition is a great way to do that. And then the resolution is, this is the person that actually won. People want to stick around for the resolution. All right. So keep that in mind. First 30 seconds, give them the reason. You have to give them a reason. If you're in the first 30 seconds and we did a Restore the Love and you see a mom bawling, and it's like, it's okay, I'm going to get this unit for you. Do you think people are sticking around? Drama. Absolutely. They stick around. That video gets promoted because of a huge average view duration and it's all over YouTube. So you have to give them a reason.
Yep. And the reason is also called the hook. That's how you hook.
And I just want to be very clear. I completely and totally disagree with Tommy. He says, I think people need to know that reselling niche is not capable of growing. Wrong. That is the wrong mindset.
There's so many
you need to adjust. There are channels huge. So far bigger than us that are doing this. And you forget the excuses. You have to learn. You have to adjust. And if you're going to play victim, go play victim. But if you want to learn, stop with the excuses and actually grow and learn. So I'm just going to throw that out there. And there you have it. Okay. What's next, guys?
Did we answer one question?
Dan M asked, does having a longer outro potentially hurt viewing retention if a viewer stops watching the full video to the end?
Do not do outros. And you guys also, everybody wants to have a cool intro and they want to put in this intro that, hey, this is my channel and this is what we're all about. What do you think every viewer does when they go to your video? They've already seen it once. They skip over it. Get rid of your intros. Yay, that's great. You got an intro. Get rid of it. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself in the YouTube system. Would you do that on eBay if you were reselling and you knew it was going to hurt you on eBay? Of course not. Would you do that on Poshmark? Nope. Macari? You're hurting yourself in the system. They're skipping past it and they don't want to see it. They already saw it once. Your material has to change. So you need to have some constants. And for example, there are constants. There are things, we have cliches, we have niches, we have things that we say such as fun employment, we say what the Hales, we say connives, we have all these gags that are part of the show, right? Mm-hmm. But you're never going to see, we have a 4-second what the Hales in the beginning. There's not this long title of, here it is. Get rid of your intros that are always the same every time and completely get out of outros. Outros are going to hurt your videos. And again, remember, everything we say is not always guaranteed to be correct. As a matter of fact, we could be 100%. George is always right. But me, I'm typically wrong. You just have to find the nuggets of gold.
Well, I see, a lot of the bigger content creators, they're going away from intros, or the intros are increasingly getting shorter and shorter, because I think of what Netflix has conditioned us to do, like skip intro. Like that's an option now.
Well, that's an option.
So I think about that.
Don't tell me you don't love that option. We all love that option,
So get out of your own mind, okay? If you're going to think like you're never going to succeed on YouTube. You have to think like your viewer. What does your viewer want to see? What will your viewer stay to see? Think about what you do when you go and watch a video. Yep, I just skipped the intro. Yep, I just clicked out of this because I didn't want to see it, or there was an ad in the wrong place, or there was, if there's not an ad in a pinnacle spot on your video, why are people going to come back? They won't. It's an inconvenience. They'll be like, oh, that ad was in. But if that ad is in the spot where you're going to open a safe, or you're going to whatever it is, that ad, they'll like, all right, I'll go through this ad and then I'll see what's next, and they stick on.
Midwest Picker brings up a great point. He says, I changed my what sold thumbnails.
Perfect.
To sold a 25-cent item for 100 instead. Big difference.
And that's how you change and adjust and you grow in the system. He's not playing victim. He's changing and he's growing.
He's tweaking. That's another thing that you can do is tweak your thumbnails. It doesn't hurt to tweak your thumbnails. So if you go with something completely different because your original thumbnail didn't get as many clicks as you anticipated, it doesn't hurt to change your thumbnail and tweak it like Midwest Picker did.
Yeah, my chat's jumped down to the bottom, so if I'm missing a question, guys, Victoria just asked if you should keep reselling in your name or will it hurt your growth?
What do you want to be known as? What's your channel going to be? So for What the Hales, we changed our name, and you can change your name a number of times in a time span on YouTube. Once you get to verified, which pretty much means nothing, it means you have 100,000 subscribers. You get a check mark after your name. That's all it does. If you change your name after you're verified, your check mark goes away. But that's all it is. I mean, just remember, subscribers mean nothing. Views mean everything. Get that through everybody's head. Subscriber means nothing. Views mean everything. That's your business, okay? So if you want to be always known as a reseller, if you think that's what you're going to be doing, then that's great. The other thing that YouTube does, and I'm going to show you here on the screen.
I think Victoria, it wouldn't hurt to take Victoria out of your name, because I feel like that YouTube name is too long.
YouTube has subsects, okay? I said SEXT. You see this up here? Mixes, recently uploaded, self-storage. So remember, YouTube gives you everything. Look at this. If I go into the groups, it shows me, what do you see there? Comedy. It's doing it based on what I watch. Resellers.
Right.
So resellers is a grouping. Now remember, when you upload a video and it's reselling, YouTube isn't going to promote your reselling video to all the billions of people on YouTube. They don't want to see it. That would kill their actual platform. They're going to, if you trigger the algorithm, they're going to push it to the reselling community. And there is a reselling community, and those communities cross over. The way that we got in, I told you already that YouTube gives you all the information. The way that we decided business-wise to try coin pushers is because YouTube told us to do it. YouTube told us to do it.
If you
YouTube said,
they will.
YouTube said, people who watch you also watch things like this, and people who watch him, and YouTube told us to do it. And we were like, huh, ding, maybe we should do that. Guess what? It's taken off like
it's doing
crazy.
Very well. Yeah.
Like crazy.
We're blessed, and it's doing very well for us.
But
that was one of the things I wanted to talk to you.
We're treasure hunters, and then the question is like, how long can we do those types of videos?
Yeah. I mean, because one of the things that, a lot of times you hear from the YouTube experts who are always saying, niche down, get down to just like one group of people. But, obviously, like when I first started watching you guys, I'm like, man, these guys are sharing storage auction, they're sharing coin pusher. And it seems like it's kind of like this thing back and forth. But I was like, and then you look at your views and they're you know, they're competing. Like, it's not like you're pulling one from the other and saying, well, all these guys are quit watching this, or they started watching this, or so like it really is. As far as like, I think for us as resellers, sometimes you get in a mindset that we got to be all about reselling, just all about that. And if we're not careful, we do niche down to a point to where the same 50, 100 people are just watching these small channels stay small.
That's one of the things that we do with our titles as well, which I think will be helpful for people. Do you want to open up the reselling community to more people? Then your videos need to appeal to more people. So every title we use, when we try and figure out the story, YouTube tells us what title to use, okay? If you go into TubeBuddy and you throw in a title, it's going to tell you, no, don't use this title. Too many people have used it. And I sit there and I go, what a broken system. It's exactly the title I want to use because that's what people are searching. YouTube tells you, or TubeBuddy tells you, don't use this title because everybody else has used it. YouTube tells you, use this title because everybody is searching it. So when we find our titles, let me just pick a video. Well, we'll just use yesterday's video. She beat the house. Okay. We could have put anything. We could have put, there's $2,000 in the coin machine. We could have put with that. You know what people are searching? We go into YouTube search. It's all free. It's all there. When you do a search in the YouTube search bar, it tells you exactly what the first thing is, what everybody is looking for. And so when we go in there and we look at coin pushers, we see what people are looking. They wanted to see she beat the house. The house was beat. It told us what to use as the title, what people are searching for. Guess what? Our videos get promoted. TubeBuddy would tell you the exact opposite. Don't you dare use that title. Too many people are using it. That's the most broken system I think I have ever heard. So I would never use TubeBuddy for titles. And tags mean nothing. Everybody thinks tags mean something. YouTube themselves have said that tags absolutely mean nothing. At one point they did. They just haven't deleted it from the system yet. All of our videos try to niche over to get a leg into another video. So for example, so one video we did, she got fired. Okay. She was being very feisty that day. She was being hangry and she was like, just fire me. And I was like, fine, you're fired. And I did. That was the video. And we went, what's the story? She got fired. And we found out really quick, there is a huge base of people who love to watch people getting fired. And guess what we did? We brought them in over to the reselling committee. So you can come up with all the excuses in the world. Oh man, this niche is too small, da 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 da. Or you can actually put the things into practice and learn and grow on the system and pull more people into your market and pull other people for here. Every title we use, every thumbnail we use, we're trying to grab into another market to reach new people. Now, again, clearly you can't steal subscribers no matter what moron wants to say that we have. Okay. So it's free to subscribe. We're always trying to grow. We are a business. Everything I do is a business, whether it's my real estate business, whether it's my reselling business, whether it's YouTube. You're always selling yourself. You're a business. You're trying to grow.
That's right.
Right.
We lost you there for a sec, Midwest Bargain.
It's probably that shirtless guy coming in again. That's what it was.
No.
Last video at the end, the shirtless guy came in a couple of videos back.
Man, that was awesome. That was funny.
Shirtless thumbnail might work for you.
It got people. It grabbed people's attention.
Yeah, no doubt.
Grab my attention.
You want to use this for a thumbnail?
Yeah. Let me take a picture real quick. Are you okay with that, George?
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's a lawsuit.
One
of those things.
So, I mean, I guess I would ask, what are some best practices you guys would implement? Kind of like, like Jeremy, you play guitar, right? Like before you learn a song, you have your scales that you learn. What are those things? I noticed.
I don't even know scales, so you better.
But like even just to hold a chord, right? Right. So to me, that's like your pinned comments. I noticed that you do that in every video.
All right, that's prime real estate,
right?
Prime real estate. There's a pinned comment that always. So yes, and there's a lot that we could say, but there's always a pinned comment in every single video that always pushes you to what?
The next video.
The next video. What's YouTube's business platform? Keep them on as long as possible. Everything we do is to keep people on long as possible. You want to talk about more?
Another thing that we do to keep, because a lot of times our new subscribers will tell us, we found you by accident. So what you want to do is you want to create playlists, you want to create series. We have different playlists for different types of videos, and then we also have like the ultimate binge watch for people that want to binge watch. By the way,
nobody found us on accident. Our video hit the algorithm and YouTube pushed us to them.
So when they say by accident, that means YouTube suggested our videos. So we create playlists, and what happens is once they're done with the video, the next video ends up being What the Hale's again. So that's important to keep in mind when you're growing your content and making videos. Create playlists and series. You can't create a series though if you're double dipping into 2 different playlists, because all of our videos go into a binge watch folder and then a different folder. So we double dip. So we can never create a series, if that makes sense.
Actually, that's probably too far for everybody in the chat.
Yeah,
just
that's probably
make
too advanced.
Make playlist. And your goal should be keep them on the platform as long as possible. So yes, always use a pinned comment. That is prime real estate to actually push your people to another video, okay? Your end screen should always be pushing people to another video. And I think one of the best practices on that is YouTube will actually give you an option of best for viewer in your end screen. Always use best for viewer, because the mathematics or the algorithm is looking at what they view, and it will pull something from your database and go, hey, check this out. And that will keep people on the platform for as long as possible. I always put also in the end screen one of the videos that's in the algorithm. So, and any given day, any given week, any given month, we'll have 4, 5, 6 videos in the algorithm. So it could be, we know which ones they are because they're constantly growing and we look at it all the time. It's a business. This is a business. We run it as a business. That's our goal. And we understand not everybody has that goal, but those are things that you absolutely want to do. One of the things that I recently pulled out of videos, and I think this is another best practice tip, they have suggestion cards. YouTube gives you the option of suggestion cards. It used to be when you clicked on a suggestion card, when it came down, it would go in a curry.
The screen at the top.
So yeah, the banner up top. So it would be up here and say, hey, watch this one next. It used to go in a queue and then you could watch it. They changed it and they screwed it up, in my opinion. Now, if you click on it, it takes you out of the current video and it takes you to another video. What does that do to the video that they're watching? Kills it. Do not use cards. And there are other people who are going to tell you absolutely use cards. I am not going to do anything that's going to hurt my video.
If you're going to use it, do it at the very end.
It would be at the very, very end.
Like the last 10%, like 10, 20% of the video.
Yeah, so like Daryl Ease will tell you, last 10%, in there. I just won't even use it because I want 100% watch rate, which I'll never get. But your end screen is at the end to help people get to the next video. So that also, I would say, is a best practice there. Another best practice is be consistent. And this is the thing. YouTube is simple, okay? And the hardest thing in the world, the hardest thing to do in the world is to think. That's why so few people do it. But if you just think it through and you go, oh yeah, duh. Why would I want to take somebody to another video? Why would I want to let links on my video and pull them out if YouTube's whole, you put the whole system together and you go, oh, that's how it works. I mean, resellers do it all the time with eBay. They're trying to learn eBay. So the other thing you want to do in regards to all of that is you want to build a consistency for your viewership. And what I mean by that is pick a time and be consistent to where your viewers know every single day they're going to get this from you.
It's like your favorite TV show. You know when it's going to come on, what day it comes on, and the time that it comes on.
So that being said, they know we've conditioned them 5:30 Monday through Saturday. They're going to get a video from What the Hales. Sunday night, 9 p.m. They're going to get a live stream. By the way, we would actually make more money releasing a normal video on Sunday night than if we went live. We live doesn't really help us except build a fan base. And we get to help others by answering questions.
It's a day off. for us.
We hold it as a day off. We would make a whole lot more money because of weekend views if we just released a normal video, but
and
we
did
don't.
a live on a different day. But we've always done it that way, and we just love connecting with our subscribers.
So pick a consistent time that you're going to release. If you're going to release every day, that's great. If you're going to release 2 times a week, be consistent on what 2 days that is. If you're going to release once a week, be consistent. All the storage unit channels or any other channels that we helped, when they don't upload, we're thrilled. And you may be thinking that sounds horrible. We've told them all of this. You have to daily upload if you're going to retain your viewership. Every day you don't upload, what do those people do?
Find somebody else to watch.
There you go. They go
Yeah.
find somebody else to watch. And who's always there with a video every single day? What the hell?
Ones that upload
The ones who upload consistently. So it doesn't matter. I'm always going to upload. That's the way we have grown more than other channels. It is literally just a grind to consistently be committed to the goals that I've put in front of us and go, all right, I'm going to do it. No matter how horrible I feel horrible right now. Allergies, the whole deal. It doesn't matter. I'm committed to doing it. We're going to do it. We're going to keep pushing forward. There's going to be a video every single day so that the viewership knows it's still going to be there. And the best part of that is it'll be there forever. As long as YouTube is around, the videos are still going to be there. So just being consistent, out hustling your competitors, and they may be friendly competitors. Grimes Finds is a competitor. I'm going down to Texas. We're going to go see them. Going to go hang out with them, Lunkers TV. Now, here's the other best practice. If you're a negative person, you might as well get off YouTube right now. If you're a complainer, if you're negative, if you're a victim, birds of a feather flock together. And that's a very, very, very small group. People aren't going to watch you, period. Now, your little base of other negative Nancys may watch you, but people come for inspiration, education, and entertainment, okay? And if that's who you are on camera, they're done. So if you're going to create drama, you might as well just leave and give up now. It's never going to work. The strongest thing in the world is hope. And I think that's one of the things that we give to people is anybody can become fun employed. We meet them daily at auctions. We just met, it's a gray area at the last auction we were at. Like, we saw you on YouTube. We want to do this. We're doing it. And so give them hope. Forget the drama, forget the victim base, forget the complaining, forget all of that. Just give them hope. So have a personality that gives them hope. And if that's not your personality, my encouragement would be you need to pray to God to change your heart in a heartbeat and then keep moving forward.
Nikki T says, no negative Nancys and drama llamas, I think she said.
If anybody creates drama, we disassociate with them immediately. We don't want anything to do with it around our channel. Nothing at all. And we're pulling the curtain back tonight, and we're sharing everything with you guys. We've never would say these things on our channel. We're sharing this openly with other YouTube content creators.
Yeah, I think, some of the bigger. Go ahead. I was going to say, I think some of the bigger struggles with, I know a lot of people that are in the chat tonight, and obviously if you're reselling and you're kind of small time, it's trying to balance the YouTube versus eBay. Like for me at this point, I don't make a dime from YouTube other than I have had a couple viewer sales. So I guess I do make a dime, but for me, it's trying to balance that out and get on a schedule and grind to get to a point to where it makes sense, and that's the thing that it is tough to be, and like everything you're saying about being committed to consistent times. I mean, that's one of the things we did with this show. I was like, we need to be a consistent time, set the bar, try to do it a little better, try to be consistent in what we're doing as far as interviews. And, but it's definitely a balance. I know a lot of people deal with that. So in the beginning, I mean, obviously you've got a bunch of other businesses going on. Was it just a drive that, hey man, I know I've got to set aside this much time to get to where
all right, I'm gonna answer that question, and again, I hope I don't offend because that's not the goal. The goal here is to, within the limited time we have, is to educate, okay, and inspire. Right. I work harder than you.
Right.
Hands down. I don't know you, but I promise you, I put in more hours every single day. I lose more sleep. I do more. And she'll be the first to attest that. It puts a tremendous strain on our relationship. She hates it. She's never known an entrepreneur. She's never been with an entrepreneur in a relationship. She's known 9 to 5, 9 to 5,
And
9
having
to
a
5.
life in the evening and on the weekends.
My life is my life's work.
Right.
And so I push and I push. I can already tell you based on personality wise. I mean, I'm not trying to be derogatory. I'm just going, this is the way God's wired me. And I push harder and I push harder and I lose more sleep and I push harder and I push harder. And I grind it until in any entrepreneurship, usually within the first 5 years, you got to give everything. Yeah. And then once that momentum is going, you can hand it off to an employee and go run it. And then you push on to the next thing. And then you hand it off. And then you push on to the next thing. So YouTube, I told her on the YouTube, I said, I'm putting everything into YouTube for a solid year. And we had so many fights and we had so many, and she quit and she got fired and you name it. I told her I'm putting everything into YouTube. I could have put all of that time into reselling and made $1 million.
But guess who was back on the next day?
Every day she quit.
Right.
So I could have put all that time, invested it into reselling, and I could have generated over $1 million that year. But instead, I already done reselling. I want to see what I can do with YouTube. I want to learn it. I want to grow it. I want to see what it does. I put everything in a year into YouTube to see what I could do. And then we evaluated after that and said, do we still want to do it? Yes or no? And so it's just the aspect is I'm very, very wired different in the aspect of complete and total commitment, pushing for. I'm a very driven person. Right. So I have more drive than most people. I will absolutely say that. But I will also say that drive can hurt relationships because I still see a goal. I'm so goal oriented in getting out to that goal. And I don't always talk as fast. Tonight I'm talking fast, and on the live streams I've been talking fast because we have limited time and you're getting a lot of information. Usually when we're together, she does all the talking and I listen. But I'm still working on YouTube and off camera, she does all the talking. Believe it or not, off camera, she does all the talking.
Right.
But it's just a drive. It's just a hunger and a drive. And again, please understand, I mean, no derogatory statements whatsoever. I know I'm doing more. That's why I know you can do more, because I'm an idiot. All I'm doing is looking at the simple platform and going, oh, this is how it works. Okay, if YouTube wants you to keep people on as long as possible, give them avenues and keep them on. And that's as simple as it is. And if I can figure that out, you guys can figure that out. And if I can tell a story, you guys can tell a story. And I mean that by you guys, everybody in the chat, everybody on the live stream. There's nothing special about what I do or we do. And the reality is yes, I'm the brains, and she is the support behind it. But I'm the one pushing. I'm always the one pushing. And so
what's your channel?
I mean, I started it in the whole deal, but the only thing I do different than anybody else is I am completely and totally committed to what my goals are, and I'm consistent with them. So you got to decide.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Yep. It is a hustle. It absolutely is a hustle. I'll be up all night editing, and there have been when we were in California filming. I went 3 nights without sleep.
Yeah.
3 nights without sleep, guys, for
editing.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I was 100% committed towards growing a channel. That's how stupid I am, because I went, well, we'll get on a plane. I'll sleep then. Who sleeps on a plane? Not me. So, I mean, it just push and push and push. And that's the way I'm wired. Not everybody's wired that way. So you have to figure out what your goals are in YouTube, what you want to push towards, and are you going to push that hustle that hard?
Well, I think it's TV. Well, I think it's funny though, like, because like a lot of folks that are starting out is like, I just started out in Pee Wee football today, but tomorrow I want to play in the NFL. Yeah, and it's kind of unrealistic in that way. And I guess the other thing is, nobody wants to go to hell, but nobody wants to do what it takes to get into heaven either. And I think that's part of that grind. Like, okay, that number, that 200K plus all the views that you have, there's a story behind that.
It's hard work.
And you're right.
Literally, the story literally is, oh, YouTube system wants to keep people on as long as possible. Figure out how to do that, and then work hard towards it. That's the story. And in my opinion, everybody can do it. Anybody and everybody can have a YouTube channel, and anybody and everybody can grow a YouTube channel, because I'm a moron and I was able to do it.
The question is, how bad do you want it?
Yeah. Do you want it or not?
Monetized. Once you get monetized, how bad do you want it?
Or do you want to complain and be a victim? Or do you want to learn and do you want to grow? It really is. It's a personal decision of what it is you're going to push for.
Yeah, and I think that's some of the thing with you being here tonight. I mean, obviously, like for me, I am the type of person, like once I make up my mind, that's what I'm doing. But I also don't want to be like in a fruitless thing, because that's the other problem with YouTube is you get a million voices telling you one thing and another guy telling you something else, somebody else telling you something else. And it's like, well, who do you follow? Because if I go down this path and waste a bunch of time, effort, and energy for nothing, like then it's like, okay, so now I need to back up, game plan, so you know, you kind of want an educated push, obviously, and that's what you're saying. It just looking at YouTube, it tells you. You just got to know where to look, right?
Nobody taught us YouTube.
Yeah,
nobody was there. We knew nobody, and then people started reaching out to us. Can we? Yeah, we didn't know. YouTube taught us YouTube.
Yeah,
that was how we learned. This works. This doesn't, and we're constantly testing. I even shared, tonight the video we just did. We're testing. I want to see if it jumped at all, but we're looking at average view duration. We did a 46-minute video, and we don't do 46-minute videos. And it jumped to 1 of 10, nice. And the average view duration is up to 28 minutes. And so we're constant. Okay, you can't see it, but there you go.
That's it.
My view. So it ranks.
So this is awesome. This is awesome. This is a test, and this is awesome for where we're headed with the channel. You want me to answer that question?
Yeah.
You should answer that
Midwest
question.
Picker wants to know, Jeremy, are you thinking about a second YouTube channel?
We started 2 other channels.
We started to launch 2 other YouTube channels, and I was going to be the main face and voice for those channels. And then I realized how much time and effort he was putting into the Hales, and like I wanted to support him 100%, that there was no time to create additional content with the amount of work that is needed behind the scenes. Yeah, you may watch a 20-minute video bars, but it took us hours to create that 25 minutes.
Hours.
There's so much behind the scenes with comments and
everything.
Different social medias,
editing. I'll be up all night editing.
Responding to comments takes hours.
We film everything on my phone. We edit everything on my phone. We compile, we upload. Everything is on my phone. I don't know technology. This is what we do everything on. Everything.
So
use Video Shop?
Use Video Shop.
Yeah.
This silly thing made more money than all 3 of your guesses earlier in the program. Everything was on here. That's how crazy it is.
You did upgrade.
That
You
is
started
crazy.
off and then you upgraded to like a different model, right?
Yeah, I started on an S7 and I'm on an S9 now, but it's always been on a Samsung, on a Galaxy. So we started 2 other channels, and the reality was there's not enough time in the day.
It's just there was no work-life balance, so we decided not to go with the second channel.
There's actually 2 other channels.
Yeah.
So there was a second and a third, and both of those had different business models, complete different business models.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to break into different markets, and we still haven't done it.
Yeah,
Maybe someday.
Emily said it right. YouTube is a serious grind. Yeah, it really is. It's literally eat, sleep, YouTube.
It is. That is. But once you learn the grind and then you have that base, then and we're not to that point. We want to get to a point where we can scale back and not put a video out every day and not lose, viewership. But those views, those views, why we snooze or why we're awake, whatever, that means the world right now in building. That is the capital buildup of the business. And any entrepreneur knows 9 out of 10 businesses fail. You always got to go 10 out of 10. That's the one that sticks. You put everything in the first 5 years, then it's going on its own, and then you hand it off. And so we're on year 2. And if we can get this thing to where we can scale back to, twice a week, 3 times a week, potentially, or we get to a point where viewers, they don't care what we upload. They'll just watch it because they feel so connected with you. And that happens. If viewers can feel connected with you and feel like family, then they'll watch whatever you put up. And we know based on our experience, they will not watch whatever we put up. And there's specific reasons why we don't put up what we don't put up, and what we do put up, what we do put up. It's all business related.
We trialed it and then decided not to go with it.
So Sam, I know I kind of cut you off before, but I know you were working on a question there.
I know Victoria asked basically, what do you what's better, a pre-recorded or a live stream?
Always pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Always pre-recorded in regards to if you want to trigger the algorithm. Live stream, as soon as a viewer sees a live stream, think of it like real estate property, okay? Real estate like I'm in Ohio and then West Virginia, and there's a river. And if you tell people, let's go to Cincinnati, let's go into Cincinnati. It's 10 minutes away. Let's go to Cincinnati. They'll be like, yeah, let's go. Oh, let's go across the river over to whatever in West Virginia. It's only 5 minutes away, but you've got to go across the river. They're like, no way, we're not going. It's across the river. Mentally, they go, there's this huge divide. Normal viewers have a mental divide on live streams. Your better bet is to actually, like, if you guys want to make a good video of how to grow a YouTube channel, after this, edit all of your live stream and then put it up as a pre-recorded. You will do so much better in actual YouTube land. So
Eric figured out our plan.
Now here's what
you can listen to me and Sam talk on the phone.
Resellers do this. They want the easy way out. They're not willing to put the work in. They go, oh, I want my monetization hours. Well, first of all, don't talk about monetization. And again, if you do, that's your choice. I'm just saying it cheapens the experience for the viewer. I would never do it. But if you want your hours to get monetized, here's what they do. They go, well, let's go live. I'm going to go live for 4 hours. I'm going to go live for 5 hours. I'm going to go live for 6 hours. Why? Because all you have to do is go press. It's easy, but it cheapens the entire experience for the viewer. And if the whole goal of YouTube is to keep the viewer on the platform as long as possible, your channel will fail.
I mean, you look at Joe Rogan. Why is he dropping his live interviews as pre-recordeds and not as live stream? And then he takes chunks of it and makes clips out of it, content within content, right? So,
genius.
Mm-hmm.
Is this helping at all, or are we? Am I just killing you guys?
Are we speaking?
No, this is great. I mean, throw a 1 if you're getting value on this.
Yep. There's a ton of knowledge you guys are dropping. It's amazing.
I mean, I feel like I'm going so fast that I'm steamrolling everybody, but I know we're on a time crunch too. Well,
I have to get going personally right now because my cousin. I just heard him come in the door. He's coming into town.
Yeah, we'll stay as long as you guys want.
I'm gonna stay in the chat and on my phone. This is amazing. Thank you guys very much.
It's our pleasure.
Thanks, Jacob. I appreciate you, man.
We'll see you.
I'll be in the chat.
So for any of you guys who are going to be rewatching this, or there's been a lot of things said, and like Jeremy's saying, it's just kind of like drinking out of a fire hydrant right now for some folks, I'm sure, and that's okay. What Eric and I are going to work on is chopping this down and really giving you guys some highlight reels. So Jeremy kind of gave away well, we're planning on doing this. But,
he didn't know. We didn't tell him, but
but our core value, our creed has always been to elevate everybody and give value back to the community who has supported us as much as you guys have.
Absolutely.
So.
Emily had said about you don't think people get sick of seeing you every day. She said,
actually, I do. There are a group of people. So everything goes in cycles, right? So all of a sudden, quarantine, what was everybody watching on Netflix?
Tiger King.
Tiger King. All right.
Tiger King.
Guess what? Tiger King is done. What's the next cycle? What's everybody watching now? All right. And then what's everybody going to be watching? So there are cycles, and we see that in our analytics that everybody is watching What the Hales. And then they go watch something else. And then everybody is watching What the Hales. That's why it's so important to us to always branch over into another grouping. She's fired, or we did one, I quit. The whole thing was I quit, and there's a mad face because we did the she's fired. We wanted to jump into I quit, and I quit. At that, I was like, forget this, I quit. And then when we go to editing, we're like, what's the story? Well, the story is I quit because I actually quit. I was like, I quit. She's setting things up and hurting me. And so I quit. And so we are branching over into other subsects on actual YouTube, pulling them into the reseller community because we're trying to get algorithmic content that pushes.
Mm-hmm.
Carol Baskins did it.
100%. 100%.
Well, yeah, everybody goes in cycles. So it's going to be, are you watching What the Hales? Yeah, we're watching What the Hales. And yeah, they're going to get tired of it, but there's always more people. There's always, we're at 47 million views, I think, right now, close to 47. I'm not quite sure. 47 million views. When I started this, I never thought there would be one. I literally went, who the Hales would ever watch anything that I put out? And then went, I guess there's people that watch. They're crazy, but so yeah, there's people, they come back in cycles, or people will tell us, they'll leave comments and they'll go, I thought you guys were done. I haven't seen a video of yours in months. And it's because they didn't have the notifications bell turned on. So the notification bell isn't turned on. They get another notification because YouTube suggested it, because we hit the algorithm again, and we've gotten very, very good at hitting the algorithm. We literally know before we go and post a video, we can tell you this is going to hit this algorithm. We know beforehand now. We know which videos are going viral and what's going to hit the algorithm. And so they get the notification because it hit the algorithm and YouTube pushed it up as suggested again. And they go, oh, you're back. We've been here the entire time. You just didn't have notifications on.
That's one of the things that we hear often, like within our communities. People always talk about, I don't know if you guys have heard about, like, sometimes they're saying that they're sub to people and then they're not sub to people, or like they didn't get the notification because all of a sudden they're not subbed. Have you heard of that being a glitch, or do you think
a lot?
YouTube scrubs the actual platform of fake accounts. So let's just say you see a reseller that's out there. Let's say they were at, like, I don't know, we'll just pick a number, 89,000. And then overnight they're like 105,000. And where did those subs come overnight? Those are fake accounts. You buy those subs. We have never done that. We'd never do that. That is against YouTube completely, and that would jeopardize your business. Okay.
Yeah. YouTube can delete your account.
And they can delete your account.
Yeah.
So what those are fake bots and accounts. If you guys get comments on your videos that say, hey, want to be friends? All of those are bots from other channels trying to grow channels, because they try and get you to click on it to go over and subscribe.
So it's a different way of saying sub for sub, because YouTube's AI will pick that up.
No sub for sub. That's against YouTube's policies. Anybody says that in your chats, boot them out, okay? Because that is not okay when YouTube's platform don't jeopardize your business. So all of those subs, if you see them grow all of a sudden, that's YouTube. What will happen? They'll drop because YouTube will scrub the platform. They clean out all the bots, all the fake accounts, and it actually makes errors. And it will unsub other accounts. And so in our live streams is where we try and tell people, which doesn't really work because anybody who's on our live stream got an actual notification. Right. But we try and tell them, we try and remind them, make sure you go sub again, because YouTube will glitch and it'll do that on accident.
There's times where I won't get notification for other channels that I follow, and I know when they'll release. So I'll just go in, unsubscribe, resubscribe again, and hit the bell again, and then hit all. And then it fixes it all. So sometimes you just need to reboot.
Yeah, we've heard that a lot. And that's why I was wondering. And then the other thought is, are they actually watching your stuff and are not watching your stuff? And did YouTube just say, cut you out because you weren't watching them?
Well, the notification should never cut out. And you actually have analytics in your Creator Studio of how many notifications went out to subscribers, how many clicked on it. So you can actually get that analytic. So
Right.
you can see how many people actually received it. But 9 times out of 10, it's because YouTube is scrubbing the platform of fake accounts.
Right. So you kind of touched on this a little bit, with like the victim mindset.
Yeah.
And I'm always fascinated by like that big to little channel mindset, right? Because I know 32 people are looking and thinking you're a big channel, but you're like, we
are such a small channel.
But I also see, being a smaller channel, folks will say, there's a lot of petty emotion tied to why someone didn't watch their video or not sub to them when it could have been a glitch, right? And I think of I don't think you're losing sleep if Justin doesn't, Grimesfine doesn't watch one of your videos, right?
Honestly, I could care less.
Right.
I would be shocked if Justin actually watched a video of mine. I don't even watch them. So no, that stuff means nothing. That stuff means nothing. Here's other people get upset if they get a dislike, and they don't understand in YouTube's world, a dislike, a like, a comment, a share, it's all social interaction. It doesn't matter. Let the haters put a dislike. You're growing our channel.
It helps the channel. So a lot of people think that if they hit the thumbs down button, it's hurting the channel. In reality, YouTube just views it as one interaction. They
just
don't
social
see
interaction.
It's up or down.
If my video caused an emotion strong enough in you to make you click something, guess what?
You did
I won.
You did something right.
That's good business, guys. So, put aside your emotions. And I'm going to talk really, really frank here. I see the YouTube resale community very, very drama-based. And I'm telling you why it is. It is drama-based because they are all alone at home. And so they stir up drama to have significance in other people's lives. When if they put the same energy into reselling, who cares? Put the same energy into building your channel. Get rid of the drama. Stop playing victim. Build your channel. Put your energy there. Put your energy in reselling. Stop calling people and dramatizing. Stop creating drama. Stop playing victim and build your business. If you put the energy into building your business, building your channel, guess what? You'll succeed. That's all you have to do is work hard. Really, that's all you have to do.
There's the secret sauce, y'all. That's it.
Just work hard.
That's it.
And we're very, very bold about it. Anybody who creates drama for us, we will cut you immediately from our lives. Immediately. Yeah. You will be blocked on YouTube. You will have no interaction with us whatsoever. We have no room for it. We have no time for it. We've got business to take care of.
We've gotten to the point where we have a zero tolerance.
Zero tolerance whatsoever. Now, here's the other thing. Most people don't understand what ghost blocking is on YouTube. So you can block people on YouTube, and it's what's called ghost blocking.
Like a shadow ban.
So YouTube ghost blocks people. Like we have probably 100,000, if not more, people
blocked. That's right, Victoria.
So many. Yeah, drama does not pay dividends whatsoever. Stay away from those people. They will not generate business or good business for your company or for your channel. So, but YouTube ghost blocks, and you know why YouTube ghost blocks? What ghost blocking is, a lot of your gamers would know this. They're blocked, but the person who's blocked has no clue. They can still see their comments and everything they're saying, but they have no clue. And YouTube does that because YouTube's goal is to keep the person on the platform as long as possible, so they don't know they're blocked, and they're there throwing in their troll comments, and then they watch. And so all you have to do to get rid of those people, just block them. They don't even know they're blocked. We have a list that is probably easily 100,000 long, if not more. We've never counted. It's huge.
That's wild.
It's the nature of the beast with any channel that grows.
Guys, we get death threats. I mean, I can show you death threats in my phone. I can show you death threats. I can show you ridiculous, mentally unstable YouTubers who blame us. Viewers, no, YouTubers, channels, YouTubers who blame us for their failure. I mean, it just goes on and on, the stuff that, and at the end of the day, that means nothing. Now I have to save those things for anything for future in court or anything that does happen. But at the end of the day, they mean nothing to me. The people that The people that we focus on are the people who love us. 95% of the people are always going to love you. 5% are always going to hate you. What most people do is put all of their energy in the people that hate them and try and get them to like them. They never are going to. Let those people go to other channels. Put all of your energy in the 95% who love you. They will love you even more and be your biggest fans. Right. That's how you grow.
Right. We get negative kickback from the good things that we do on our channel. So you're going to have negative Nancy's no matter what you do, whether you show the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like, for example, our Restorage the Love movement, where we give back the storage unit to the previous owner. We get lashed for doing that. You're enabling them. How can you do that? They don't deserve it. So you just have to learn to have thick skin if you want your channel to grow, and to not let it bother you, or to let you lose sleep over some of the negative comments that it just comes with the territory. The bigger your channel gets exposed.
Yeah, I had I don't know if you guys watch those guys at all, but like John and Lonnie do that podcast thing, and they had one day that they kind of just said they went down and read just a bunch of comments, can't say anybody's name, but they just went down and read the comments. And after hearing that, I was just like, look, these guys, I mean, they're a big channel as far as reselling, but not a big channel in the sense of what you're talking about overall YouTube. But, you know, everybody kind of knows who they are. And I was like, here are these guys. Like, I mean, I don't really see where they're all that offensive in any way. But I was like, here are people just leaving ridiculous stuff. After reading that, I was like, man, I said, we had our first live show. People came in and we're like, we didn't really even have moderators set up that much. And people were like, you guys are a bunch of bums, like that kind of stuff.
We made that mistake in the beginning too.
I was like, man, I said, so, you know, for me, after seeing those guys, I said, look at the volume they're getting of that stuff. It kind of does mentally prepare you. And like what you guys are saying, kind of mentally prepares you for, hey, if it's coming and you start getting these kind of comments, then more than likely you're starting to make a little ground. Like people are seeing your stuff that didn't intentionally want to see it. So it's almost like it's bad, but it's also good in the sense of, hey, you're getting more people watching your stuff than what you know, that are just in love with you. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So in other words, prepare to get roasted.
Oh, you're going to be roasted. Now, for George getting roasted, she doesn't handle that very well. For me, I started very young in full-time ministry. I can recall the first time I preached at a church. I was in Michigan, northern Michigan. I preached my heart out, sharing God's word and the gospel. And afterwards, the next day, the pastor called me and said, hey, Jeremy, little old lady actually called me, and she said, you ever have Jeremy come and preach here again? And I'm leaving the church. And my heart sunk to my toes. And I said, Pastor, how do I make this better? And he said, come back next Sunday and preach. We'll make it better. And so you're always going to have the negative people. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants those negative people around them except that small group of negative people. Just don't even focus on them. You know, some people are going to go, Jeremy, you get death threats. Are you scared? No, I'm 6'1". I'm a well-built man who can handle myself. I carry, you name it. I don't live my life in fear. I don't get drawn down by the negative comments. They roast everything from, if you can think of it, they say it. It's just block and delete, block and delete, block and delete, block and delete, block and delete. And then you move on and you put all of your energy into the people who love you. Like a Midwest picker. You put your energy in Midwest picker. You go, this is a great person who's doing a great thing. How can we help him continue to grow?
Right.
We have been to the point where we pulled back completely. So George really said we need to pull back, and she didn't want to have anything to do with any more YouTubers whatsoever. And we went to the point where we said we're not filming with anybody else. We're not meeting anybody else on YouTube because all of these resellers have created so much drama. We want nothing to do with it.
Because but all we wanted to do was help.
All we want to do is help.
And the appreciation that we got back was
drama.
Was negative.
And so it does get to a point where you're like, man, you really have to pick it. So we're much more picky and choosy now. But the reality is I'm a teacher at heart, and YouTube has actually, so being in full-time ministry and being able to preach and teach and do all of those things, you know, those things are things that bubble up in me, and the creative outlet of what I was doing. YouTube allows me to express that creative outlet and still teach like we're doing tonight. And so to hold that back is not healthy for me. I mean, it needs to come out some way. So, George, we've said, okay, well, here's some walls, here's some barriers, here's, I've told her, this is where you heard the comment. I was like, I really want to take some of the up and coming resale channels. I want to do a one-on-one with them in a live stream on StreamYard, behind the scenes, answer all their questions, teach them how to grow and unleash them, because I love mentoring and I love teaching and I love business growth. I love it. I love seeing others succeed. I love investing in their success. I love it. I mean, that stuff wakes me up. It gets me excited. And so that's what I'm about at the core. And to hold that back is a damaging thing. So that's where we were making the comment saying, hey, can we take some others and really mentor them along the way? Because we didn't know. We didn't know what we didn't know. And there was nobody there to help us with YouTube and go, hey, this is how it works. This is how you can do it. And man, if we would have known then what we know now, we'd be, who knows where we'd be? Probably same place. Probably negative subscribers, negative views, probably all of that. But yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those things. I mean, and that's kind of, I guess, what Calvin is asking here, the Kelly Hustle, is when you're building your channel from the balance between putting more time in your own content or helping support other channels up and coming.
We didn't know any channels when we started. All we knew is we were doing it. So then we met one channel, and that was when we were around, I don't know, 15,000 subs, somewhere right there. So from the ground up, we knew nobody. We weren't talking to anybody. We didn't even know there was a reseller community.
We didn't even know that there was
nothing.
Like a YouTube community.
We knew nothing about a YouTube community. We knew nobody, nothing. We were just doing YouTube. So from our experience, I would say bust your butt on your own channel. And we wish we knew there was a community. We wish there was a live stream like this. And we wish we could have implemented all those things. So do both. And you'll probably grow well beyond where we did.
There you go. I think we had Uncle Bo said, what the hell? I would watch you preach on YouTube if you ever thought of doing that.
So there are, somewhere in the world, there are videos of me preaching. And I can tell you there's audio files. If you Google them, you'll find audio files of me preaching. But yeah, I taught and I preached all over, loved it. And God and his word is my favorite thing in the world. Business is second. And I do get fired up. I get very animated. And that was a ton of fun. I miss preaching. But somewhere there's videos. I don't know where they're at. I know there's still audio files of me preaching on Google somewhere from churches that I spoke at.
But would you consider doing it again?
I don't feel qualified to do that anymore based on my life circumstances. Divorced.
Gotcha. Sam,
not
you got
to
any?
Make a somber transition.
Nah, you're right. You're right. Somebody just Midwest Picker said he had downloaded your sermon on MP3.
Oh, nice.
So one of those things. Guys in the chat, y'all have any more questions for these guys?
If they got them, we'll take them.
And Sam, I don't know if he's hit all the ones that you had on your list. If you got some more,
we pretty much covered it, man. I guess you had mentioned talking about rolling out some sort of mentorship thing. A small group. When do you think we can expect more info about that, or what criteria are you thinking about setting for folks, just for your filtering process?
Well, filtering process for us is, we would go through their channels and we would make sure. Frankly, we're watching all the live streams. We're on the live streams. I'm on the live streams. She's not. I'm on the live streams watching. In all the resellers, I'm watching how people interact. I'm watching personalities. I know who I will interact with and who I won't interact with. So there is a personality basis as far as a filtering process of who I would trust to actually move forward with. And we've got to continue to talk about it and move it forward. But I mean, there's channels that we've helped quite a bit. I mean, Grimes Finds is one that you guys are familiar with. So we met Grimes. Grimes was building from the ground up. The beauty is,
we met him, he was at,
I don't remember what he was at, but
he was at under 1,000 subscribers. I think we helped him get to 1,000.
Oh, that's right. We did on a live stream.
Yeah.
That's right.
On one of our live streams, we helped him get to 1,000.
So look at where Grimes Finds was. Now look where he's at. And he's putting all those things into practice. He's not, so that's a success story of going, all right, here it all is. Here it is. All of this is free. Everything we're telling you, you can find on YouTube. There's nothing we're sharing with you tonight that YouTube doesn't tell you.
Right.
Nothing. All right. YouTube tells you all of this. The chances are you just haven't looked for it.
Yeah, Eric will tell you that he and I spend countless hours studying these content creators for content creators and just hanging on every nugget or sitting through those 4-hour live streams for every ounce of gold that we can kind of mine out of it. And then
the challenge I have with some of those creator, obviously we've learned from those as well. But a lot of times their information isn't for small channels like a Daryl Eves. Daryl Eves is for a Mr. Beast. And so I'm part of Daryl Eves' group on Facebook, and Daryl has communicated back and forth with me, and I challenge him on his process. For example, he says your title should be less than 60 characters, and your title should be to appease the people, not to the algorithm. And I go, that's great if you're Mr. Beast. If you're Mr. Beast, you can put anything in the title and they're going to watch it. If you're brand new on the platform, you can't just put anything in the title. You have to put something in the title that's going to grab onto the algorithm, optimize it. And Daryl's telling everybody, don't optimize your title. Wrong. If you're a starting channel, you have to optimize your title for YouTube to actually grab it, to push it. And so he's giving good information for large channels.
And I think
but
Mr. Beast is at like 25 million.
It does nothing for a startup channel. This is the stuff we needed. We needed to know this when we were starting up. You absolutely need to optimize your title for search in the YouTube. And the way you do that is you go into search in YouTube and you look for what your actual theme is of your video and see what people are searching for. You put that in your title and bam, that's how you optimize it.
Right.
So Blind Hussy had asked about how long did it take you to develop your brand? And she's saying she thinks it'll take her a year to just figure out what her personal groove is.
Yeah.
I mean, it might. I mean, for us, it was just the channel was HJH Adventures before. It was before I knew George.
The channel was mainly camping hacks.
Yeah, it was me doing camping hacks with my girlfriend's daughter. And then when I met her, I was like, hey, you want to try this? And we changed it and we did storage units and
we changed the name of the channel.
We changed the name of the channel, logo, branded it. My students, I used to be a master's professor as well. So I'd be a professor. I was accredited professor, master's program, organizational leadership, Christian education, Christian counseling. My students, I would take up to 6 a year and they would get their master's degree. And they always said, Jeremy, your life is so crazy. It should be a reality TV show. What would you call it? And I always said, I would call it What the Hales. And if I ever had any more kids, my first kid I would call What the, and the second one I would call Go To. So it was always a joke. I always had a sense of humor. But then we went, all right, let's build this thing. And we called it What the Hales. And then we went, all right, we can say, what the hales are we going to find? We're going to be treasure hunters. This is where we're going to go with it. And some things flow easy like that. But originally I never got on YouTube thinking that there was anything to YouTube. And then once I set a goal and said, all right, I'm going to try this. Let's see what happens. All of a sudden, and in the good way, it exploded.
That's good. Sean had asked if doing a yard sale video and someone else is playing music, do you have to edit it out?
Not anymore. YouTube changed their policy. If you have natural background music, there can't be a copyright strike. So if you're in Goodwill and there's background music, if you're in a restaurant, you're fine.
If it's unintentional, you're fine.
But if you're intentionally playing it, you're in your office and then you're singing along to it, you're going to get a copyright strike.
Or if you're at a concert and you're recording it and uploading it, you'll get a copyright strike. And yes, you can edit everything on your phone. You just need a great program. So whether you have an iPhone or if you have an Android, what do you use? Video?
I've used Video Shop, but Sean is fine.
Video Shop is user friendly on both.
So the policy now that accepts that, you'll be fine. You won't have any copyright issues.
Nikki T.
You get it? You get it? Four-wheeler? See?
Nikki T.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, guys, final questions. Anybody got anything?
Uncle Bo wants to know, are we going to do any more magnet fishing?
I'm sure we'll do magnet fishing again.
We want to start doing metal detecting as well.
The challenge is we have to figure out how to hit the algorithm with that, because those get very, very few views. And so we're not sure how to make that work yet in the overall business of what the Hale's on YouTube. So we have made videos and then we go, these videos won't do well. Don't put them on the channel.
I gotcha. We know a guy who can find you some metal detectors.
We got them.
Yeah, one of our subscribers actually sent us one.
Yeah, Rev Resells. That's kind of what he's known for, is selling metal detectors. Before he got into cards, he was the metal detector guy.
That he was the man.
Yeah.
The challenge is if you go metal detecting and you don't find anything interesting, you got a video with no good story, no good thumbnail. How do you promote that when YouTube is all about keeping the viewer engaged? And so if we can't keep the viewer engaged, if we can't figure out how to do that, it's not going to be uploaded.
Right. And then we'll get kickback from subscribers. Like, I didn't sub to your channel to watch you do this storage units.
Yeah, he was talking about that before. Midwest Picker once again said about the Patreon group, but I think you guys have kind of covered that.
We discussed this last Sunday in our live that we thought about. He has a tier set up for joining.
That's completely different. You're talking about memberships.
Membership.
Patreon group. We understand what Patreon groups are, and really have no desire for them. So really, what we want from a viewer is your time to watch a video. So if we set up a Patreon group, number one, we're asking people for money, and we don't want their money. We want their view. Okay. And so we get compensated based on your view. The longer you view, we get compensated. That's what we want. To start adding things into the recipe, like a Patreon, and go, well, we want your money this way, or YouTube memberships, we want your money this way. That adds more work on a very, very, very packed work schedule, nonstop, 24/7 already as it is. So I don't want to pick up any more work with a Patreon. I don't want to pick up any more work with YouTube memberships. What we want is people's views. It is that simple. Keep the recipe simple. We just want you to watch the videos.
There you
Boom.
go. These guys. Rev said he just buried
nice coins before he starts the video. I found a tiny quarter. That's what he should do. He should go find quarters and then go to the quarter pusher.
Or Rev, when we go visit them, he should bury a quarter and not tell us that he did. And when we met,
we'll magnet fish their place.
Magnet fish a couple rolls up for the coin pusher.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, one of those things. Well, guys, man, what you guys have brought to the table tonight is a lot of information, and we are gonna, I know myself, I've got a notepad full of the front page because that's what I do when I have people on. We try to keep the channel where it's like, as far as the reseller roundtable, we want to be people that find nuggets. Like, basically, we're metal detecting from resellers and people trying to get content that can help the community. And us, obviously. So every time we have people on, but it's been great having y'all. We'll give a final call for questions, and then we'll just close this thing out. Sam, do you got anything?
I mean, I would say, there was a lot of information thrown out here, guys. And I would say go for the low-hanging fruit that Jeremy and George just put out here, like the pinned comments. Everybody can do that. Changing up your end screen. Everybody can do that. Like that. Like, you don't need 200 subscribers to do that. Fundamental stuff, just test, because I think all of us we all have a hypothesis, we all have a theory, and then we execute by putting out a video and testing that hypothesis and theory, right? So, what George and Jeremy has laid down is some framework for reproducibility. So they gave it to you guys. So, all you guys got to do is implement it.
Hey, let me throw this disclaimer in again. I know I went very fast over a lot of information. That's my steamroller mode. And I did that because we're trying to pack a lot of information into a time slot. If I offended you, I apologize. But maybe you should look at that offense as
constructive
criticism to where, hey, we can adjust things. Okay. So the goal is never to offend anybody. The goal is to help the reselling community grow. One of the things we've said from the very beginning, we would love to see the reselling community be the largest community on YouTube. Take YouTube over.
Take it over.
Take it over. And so the heart is for growth. Sometimes, and you guys know this, you ever break a nose, you got to re-break it to reset it for it to grow. And if we broke some noses tonight, hopefully you find that process of pain actually helpful in the end goal and you grow. That's what we would consider success tonight.
That's it.
Perfect.
Eric, a couple people in the chat said they're going to have to rewatch this video and over again. So that'll help with your views.
There you go. There you go. We've actually, it's funny when y'all said that about breaking it up. This is something that me and Sam have talked about for a while because we're like, how many people actually do rewatch these shows? Like, what if we took segments out? Because I see it in other things. Like I see it, like he was saying, in other shows where people are taking the nuggets out and saying, here's the nugget. Here's a little bit of the content surrounding it. And, actually just producing a whole nother video with this is some content that can help you. We've had everybody that we've had in. I can honestly say every person we've ever interviewed, I know I've learned something from. And tonight, there's a ton to take in and say, okay, so how do I implement this into my channel going forward? And, I appreciate you guys for being on, for sure.
Hey, the other thing is we all start at zero.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You guys are no different than us. We're no different from you. We all start at zero. You should never feel intimidated by somebody who has a higher sub count. You should never feel, we all start there. And so we all have something to share and something to learn. Yep.
That's it. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all being in here. Appreciate all the guys that joined us in chat. If I didn't get to calling out your name and welcoming you, I'm sorry, but a lot going on, and we do appreciate your views. And thanks for being here. Hopefully you got something that you can implement tomorrow.
Keep watching these guys.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, and everybody, their link is down in the bottom of the chat. If for some unknown reason you are not subscribed and watching their channel, it's there.
What the hell are you waiting for?
And then, the same with Jacob Midwest Bargains, and obviously Sam's link is down in the bottom. We do appreciate y'all watching. We will catch you next time.
Peace.
Good night, everyone.
The awkward